My dear friends, today I want to talk to you about something that unites us all: problems. No matter your age, your background, or your dreams, you will face challenges. But remember, a problem is not the end. It is simply a signal that growth is calling you. Let us understand 5 powerful tips to fight with problems, not to run away from them, but to rise above them. The first step is face the problem. Don't escape it, yet the most courageous confront the problem. Running away gives temporary relief, but facing it opens the door to solutions. When a bird is caught in a storm, it doesn't run from it. It flies higher. Problems test whether you have the wings to soar or not. Second step is understand. Don't react often. We react emotionally to our challenges. Anger, fear, and frustration cloud our ability to think. Instead, learn to understand the problem. Ask, why has this come? What is it teaching me? Treat each obstacle as a lesson in disguise. When you understand a problem, half of it is already solved. Third step is work with discipline and determination. There is no substitute for hard work. When you approach a problem with discipline, step by step, without distraction, you turn chaos into clarity. Determination fuels the journey. Many give up not because the problem is too big, but because they stop believing in their own strength. Remember, a focused mind is stronger than any obstacle. Fourth step is seek knowledge, not just comfort when you are in difficulty. Don't just seek escape. Seek knowledge. Read, ask, explore. Every problem is an opportunity to grow smarter, sharper, and stronger. Learning does not end in school. It begins when life challenges you. True knowledge shines in the dark moments. Fifth step is keep faith in yourself and the Creator. Finally, keep your faith strong. Faith in your ability and faith in a higher purpose. Sometimes the solution takes time. Sometimes what seems like a failure is just a redirection. Keep walking, keep believing. Remember, even the darkest night ends in a sunrise. Dear friends, problems are not there to defeat you. They are placed in your path to shape you. They are not curses. They are challenges, and challenges are the playground of champions. Problems are a part of life that no one can escape. Whether you are a student, a leader, an artist, or a worker, you will encounter situations that test your patience, strength, and determination. The first and most important step in dealing with any problem is to face it bravely. This might sound simple, but it demands deep inner courage and clarity of thought. Many people, when faced with difficulty, instinctively try to avoid it. They distract themselves, delay action, or hope that the issue will disappear on its own. But problems, like shadows, only grow longer when you turn your back to them. The moment you decide to stop running and look directly at the situation, you begin the journey of solving it. Facing a problem bravely does not mean you must have all the answers at once. It means being willing to acknowledge that something is wrong and that it needs your attention. Often, the fear of failure or judgment keeps people from confronting their challenges. They are afraid of making mistakes, of what others might think, or of discovering they are not strong enough. But true bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite the fear. When you face a problem, you take control of your situation instead of letting the situation control you. This shift in mindset is powerful. It gives you energy, purpose, and a sense of direction. In nature, when a storm approaches, most birds seek shelter, but the eagle is different. It flies into the storm, using the strong winds to lift itself higher above the clouds. This behavior is not just inspiring, it is symbolic. Life's storms are inevitable, but those who choose to fly through them emerge stronger and clearer. The same principle applies to our daily struggles. When we avoid problems, we miss the chance to grow. But when we face them, even with trembling hands, we give ourselves the chance to rise. One of the greatest barriers to facing a problem is self-doubt. People often ask themselves, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not capable? But these questions are based on assumptions, not facts. Most problems are not unsolvable. They are simply unfamiliar. It is the unknown that scares us. But by facing the problem, we begin to understand it. And as understanding grows, fear shrinks. Think of how children learn to ride a bicycle. At first, they fall, hesitate, and cry. But by trying again and again, they overcome the fear of falling. Eventually, the same child who was once afraid is now riding freely. That is the power of facing problems. Repeated effort transforms fear into confidence. There is also another truth. Problems often seem larger from a distance. When we ignore them, they grow in our minds. But when we sit down, analyze them, and take the first step, they start to shrink. Sometimes, just breaking a big problem into smaller parts can make it manageable. And even if you don't solve it all at once, facing it gives you momentum. Each small action builds the next, and slowly, the impossible becomes possible. Throughout history, great minds and leaders have shown us that facing adversity is the first step to transformation. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They stood up when everything was against them. They faced their problems not because they were invincible, but because they were committed. That same courage lives within all of us. It does not require fame, fortune, or special talents. It only asks for honesty, willingness, and a heart that refuses to give up. Reacting to problems is a natural human response. Emotions such as anger, frustration, fear, or sadness often surface the moment we face a difficult situation. While these emotions are valid, letting them take control can cloud our judgment and prevent us from making sound decisions. It is not the presence of emotion that causes the issue. It is the dominance of emotion over thought. To fight problems effectively, we must learn to understand them, not simply react to them. When something goes wrong, the immediate reaction might be to blame others, complain about circumstances, or withdraw from the situation altogether. This reaction provides temporary relief, but it rarely leads to a solution. Instead, what is needed is a pause, a moment to breathe and observe. The ability to observe without immediate judgment is a powerful skill. It allows us to collect information, view the problem from multiple angles, and begin to understand its true nature. Often, the root cause of a problem is not what it seems at first glance. Only through patient understanding can we uncover it. Understanding begins with questions, not conclusions. Ask yourself, what exactly happened? Why did this happen? What part did I play in this? What can I learn from this? These questions shift the focus from blame to insight. They open up space for reflection and growth. Problems, when studied with a calm mind, reveal patterns, causes, and even unexpected opportunities. In contrast, reacting emotionally often closes doors. It can damage relationships, increase stress, and make the problem even more complicated. This shift from reaction to understanding is not just a personal skill. It is a leadership trait. Great leaders are known not for how loudly they speak in a crisis, but for how clearly they think. They listen more than they speak. They analyze more than they assume. They do not allow their mood to decide their method. You too can develop this quality. Start by observing your own emotional responses. Notice when you are about to react impulsively. Train yourself to take a step back, even for a few seconds. Those few seconds can be the difference between adding to a problem and beginning to solve it. Think of a fire. If you react with panic, you might make it worse, perhaps by using water on an oil fire. But if you understand the fire, what caused it, what kind it is, what resources you have, you respond with clarity. The same applies to life's challenges. The goal is not to become emotionless. Rather, it is to let emotion be a signal, not a guide. Feel it, but do not follow it blindly. There are practical ways to strengthen this approach. Writing down the problem can help externalize it, making it easier to analyze. Talking it through with someone who is calm and objective can also bring new perspectives. Reading or learning about how others have solved similar challenges can provide insight. All of these methods are tools of understanding. They turn a reactive mind into a reflective one. Ultimately, understanding a problem gives you control. It allows you to respond thoughtfully, plan strategically, and act wisely. It prevents regret and builds resilience. With practice, you will find that many problems lose their power when you stop reacting and start understanding. This habit, once formed, becomes a quiet strength that supports you in every corner of life. In the journey of life, problems are not rare visitors. They are frequent companions. While talent and intelligence have their place, it is discipline and determination that truly equip us to face and overcome challenges. Discipline gives structure to our efforts, and determination fuels them. Together, they form a foundation upon which solutions are built, no matter how large or complex the problem may be. Discipline begins with the small choices we make each day. It is waking up on time, sticking to a routine, giving your full effort even when no one is watching. When life throws unexpected problems at us, a disciplined person does not panic. They return to the structure they have built. This structure becomes a safety net. Just like a well-trained soldier does not abandon formation during battle, a disciplined mind stays steady during turmoil. This does not mean that the person is unaffected by the problem, but that they are anchored by habits that keep them moving forward. For instance, when facing academic pressure, a disciplined student does not suddenly study all night hoping for a miracle. Instead, they rely on the study routine they have followed all along. They break down the syllabus into parts, follow a timetable, and focus on progress instead of panic. Similarly, in personal or professional life, discipline turns intentions into consistent actions. It transforms scattered effort into focused progress. Without discipline, even the best ideas can remain dreams. With it, even small steps taken daily can lead to major breakthroughs. Determination, on the other hand, is the inner fire that pushes us to keep going despite obstacles, failures, or slow results. Problems often test not just our intelligence but our patience. They wear us down mentally and emotionally. It is easy to start strong, but difficult to remain strong when results take time or when mistakes happen. Determination is the refusal to quit. It is that quiet voice inside that says, "Try again," even after 10 failures. Determination does not require loud motivation. It grows silently in those who believe in their goal, no matter how distant it seems. History and everyday life are full of examples of people who faced failure after failure, but kept working with determination. They were not always the most skilled or the most fortunate, but they had the discipline to work consistently and the determination to never give up. They did not let setbacks define them. Instead, they treated each setback as a step forward, learning from it, adjusting their approach, and returning with more clarity. This is the mindset of a problem solver. It is important to remember that both discipline and determination are choices, not traits. They can be built one day at a time. You do not need to feel motivated every day to act with discipline. You do not need to feel confident and all the time to be determined. You simply need to commit. Start by setting a small goal. Stay with it, finish it. Let that small victory teach you something, that you are capable of much more than you think. Problems may be sudden, but the preparation to fight them is lifelong. That preparation comes from habits and from heart, from discipline and from determination. When you hold these two in your hands, no problem is too great to face, and no failure is final. In moments of difficulty, most people instinctively seek comfort, a quick way out, a distraction, or someone else to fix the situation. But those who truly overcome problems take a different approach. They seek knowledge. This doesn't mean they ignore pain or pretend the struggle isn't real. Instead, they ask deeper questions. They look for lessons, for patterns, for insight. They understand that in every problem, there is something to be learned about the world, about others, and about themselves. Problems are excellent teachers, though they rarely come with kindness. They challenge our assumptions, reveal our weaknesses, and force us to grow in ways we never planned. When you face a difficult situation, you can either complain about the unfairness or ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That simple shift in perspective turns suffering into learning. It gives your struggle a purpose. And once a struggle has meaning, it becomes easier to endure. Seeking knowledge in difficult times often starts with curiosity. For example, if you're facing failure in your studies or your work, ask why. Was the preparation wrong? Was your method ineffective? Did you misunderstand the problem itself? This isn't about blaming yourself, it's about being honest. When you approach a problem with a student's mind, it stops being a punishment and starts becoming a lesson. And the beauty of lessons is that they stay with you long after the pain of the problem is gone. Many people think that knowledge is something gained only from books or teachers. While those are powerful sources, some of the most valuable knowledge comes from life itself. Every hardship is a classroom. Every setback is a textbook written in experience. You don't always need to search far for answers. Often, the clues are within the situation you are facing. When you begin to ask better questions, you start finding better answers. This is how knowledge becomes a guiding light during dark times. Of course, this kind of learning requires humility. It takes courage to admit that you don't know everything, that your current tools may not be enough. But that admission is not weakness. It is strength. It shows that you are willing to grow. Growth always begins with awareness, the awareness that something needs to change. Seeking knowledge is the first step in that change. In practical terms, seeking knowledge might mean reading about how others have solved similar problems. It might mean asking for help, not out of desperation, but out of wisdom. It might mean pausing before reacting, just to study what's really happening. It could be as simple as journaling your thoughts, writing down what worked, what didn't, and what could be done differently next time. These small acts of reflection are powerful. They slowly build a foundation of wisdom, one experience at a time. When you build the habit of learning from problems, something magical happens. Problems no longer scare you the way they used to. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to walk into challenges not with fear, but with focus. You may still feel pain, confusion, and frustration, but underneath it all is a quiet confidence that says, "I will learn from this." That kind of mindset cannot be shaken easily. It makes you not just a survivor of problems, but a master of them. In the end, knowledge is not just power, it is peace. It gives you the tools to act, the clarity to decide, and the wisdom to move forward. While comfort may offer short-term relief, knowledge builds long-term strength. And in a life full of unexpected problems, that strength becomes your greatest ally. In times of difficulty, the human spirit is tested. not just in terms of skill or endurance, but in faith. Problems often come suddenly and without warning. They shake the ground beneath us and challenge everything we believe about ourselves and our path. In such moments, one of the most powerful tools we possess is faith. Faith in ourselves and faith in a higher purpose that we may not yet understand. Believing in yourself is not about arrogance or overconfidence. It is about holding on to the quiet belief that you have the strength to overcome what lies ahead. Often, people give up not because the problem is too great, but because their belief in their ability is too small. But the truth is this: if a challenge has come into your life, it has come because life believes you are capable of facing it. You must believe that too. Self-belief is not a guarantee of immediate success, but it is a promise that you will not stop until the solution is found. It is the inner voice that says, "You've come through difficulty before. You will do it again." But self-belief alone is not always enough. There are times when every effort seems to fail, every door seems closed, and every step forward feels like a struggle. In those times, faith in a higher power, whatever form that takes for you, can bring strength beyond human effort. It reminds us that life is not random, that every hardship has a reason, even if that reason is hidden. When we trust that there is a larger plan, we find patience. We stop asking, "Why me?" and begin asking, "What is this trying to shape in me?" This shift in thinking transforms pain into purpose. Faith also gives us the strength to keep going when logic says it's time to give up. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in history happened just after people refused to quit, even when there was no clear reason to continue. That is what faith looks like in action. It is continuing to climb even when the peak is hidden in clouds. It is choosing to act with courage even when fear is loud. It is holding onto hope, not because the situation is easy, but because you believe something greater is possible. There is also great comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. Everyone faces problems. Even the strongest among us have moments of doubt, pain, and fear. But what sets them apart is their refusal to let go of faith. Faith is what carries you when strength is gone. It's what helps you try one more time, speak one more word of kindness, or take one more brave step forward. It doesn't erase the challenge, but it gives you the energy to face it. In difficult times, we often seek control. We want to understand everything, fix everything, and predict everything. But life does not work that way. Some problems take time. Some answers take silence. Faith is what fills the space between what we can control and what we must endure. It teaches us to walk with trust, to act with purpose, and to wait with strength. Ultimately, to believe in yourself and to believe in a higher purpose is to say, "This problem may be tough, but I am tougher. This moment may be hard, but I am not alone." With this kind of faith, no difficulty can truly defeat you. It may shake you, it may change you, but it cannot stop you from rising again. Problems are often seen as interruptions, unwanted events that block our progress or disturb our peace. But in truth, problems are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. They are not there to stop us. They are there to shape us. Every challenge carries within it an opportunity, even if it is hidden under the weight of struggle or disappointment. The way we view our problems determines how we respond to them and how we grow from them. When a person faces a difficult situation, the immediate reaction is often frustration or fear. But if you look deeper, you will find that some of the greatest lessons in life come not during moments of ease, but during moments of pressure. Strength is not built in comfort. It is built in discomfort. Just as a tree grows deeper roots when the wind is strong, a person develops deeper character when life is difficult. A problem, when faced with the right mindset, becomes a training ground. It teaches you resilience, sharpens your thinking, and deepens your understanding of life. People who have achieved great things in life have not done so because they never faced problems, but because they used their problems as steps to rise higher. Each time they failed, they learned. Each time they were rejected, they reflected. Each time they fell, they got up with a new lesson. It is not the absence of difficulty that defines success. It is the ability to turn difficulty into development. If you begin to see your problems as chances to grow rather than signs of defeat, your entire life changes. Take any strong person you admire, and behind their strength, you will find a story of pain, challenge, and perseverance. Their wisdom was not given, it was earned through struggle. Their confidence was not born overnight, it was built over time, brick by brick, problem by problem. Each problem they faced became a step that lifted them closer to their goal. You can follow the same path. The key is to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" One important truth is that problems reveal things we would not otherwise see. They uncover our weaknesses, but also highlight our hidden strengths. When you are tested, you discover how much you can endure, how flexible your thinking can become, and how creative your mind can be under pressure. These are qualities that comfort will never teach you. Only challenge can bring them to the surface. It is also worth remembering that some problems redirect us to better paths. What seems like a failure may be life's way of saying, "This isn't your path. There is a better one." Many people have discovered their real purpose or passion only after a major setback. Without that difficulty, they would have remained stuck in a direction that was never meant for them. In this way, problems do not block your path, they reveal it. So, when life puts a challenge in your way, do not treat it as a dead end. Treat it as a step. It may be a small step, it may be a painful step, but it is still progress. Keep walking, keep learning, keep believing, because in the end, it is not the size of the problem that matters. It is the size of your will to overcome it. And every step you take through difficulty is a step toward a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself.